Hello, welcome. I can't thank you all enough for, oh wow, and I can't see anyone now. But that's my fault because I wrote the cues, so. Okay, thank you all for coming. I was first exposed to Jonathan Larson's work while growing up in Miami. As a kid, I was part of this children's theater troupe, and we did a medley of songs from Rent, and in retrospect, the lyrics were probably inappropriate for 7-year-olds, but I knew something about the music was electric, and I've been a lifelong fan of Jonathan's ever since. And for those of you that know the show Rent, there's a song, La Vie Bohème, which is a celebration of the bohemian lifestyle, the artist lifestyle. And so the theme of this concert is La Vie Bohème. I wanted it to feel, I knew we would have an intimate setting here because it's still COVID, and I wanted it to feel like a backyard patio hang, and everyone is here as an artist sharing songs and stories versus a polished concert that's impersonal. So as part of that, I'm gonna be showing you songs from 5 different shows of mine, and as I introduce each show, I'm gonna do a toast using lyrics from La Vie Bohème. And when I say the lyrics, I'm gonna then point to you, and everyone will toast La Vie Bohème with me. I meant to have actual beer, this is just water, but if for those of you watching at home, please, it is after 3 p.m. and it is still a pandemic, so I encourage you to drink if you want. All right, now I need multiple hands. All right, to going against the grain, going insane, going mad. La Vie Bohème. This is Borderline. So Borderline. Borderline is a show that I started writing in 2018 with my dear friend and collaborator Ariana Garber, who is here today. And I honestly didn't know much about borderline personality disorder before I met her. And during those first few conversations, talking to her about her own experiences and her desire to turn this into a musical, I was so inspired that we actually wrote a first draft of a show in just a few months, which is insane for any one of you who knows that musicals take years, decade to write. But I felt just so inspired by her humor and her take on it, and a lot of the songs from that first draft are actually still in the show, and you're gonna hear a lot of them today. And I'm excited that we're gonna do a full workshop of Borderline in December, produced by our producer Joshua Goodman, and directed by Sarna Lapine, and music directed by David Gardos. So I'm excited about that. But Borderline is the story of Anna, who is a young woman in her 20s, struggling in every sense you can imagine. She can't keep a job, she can't pay her rent, she can't keep friends around, she has no love life, and she's just a mess. And we meet Anna in this first number at a bar, a crowded bar, where she is sketching in the corner instead of socializing, and that's all I'll give you.
Hey.
Hey.
Could you pass the ketchup?
Catch up with you later.
What?
What? Nothing. Sorry. Damn it, Anna. Talk like a normal human being. Talk about the weather, lovely weather, wonder whether it'll last. Unlike my cousin June, who passed away but way too soon. Last week, in fact, I should have gone to visit her before she died. I really tried, but didn't have a ride down to Virginia. Virginia Woolf, I love her, she's my favorite, but she's also dead. She killed herself, the voices in her head just said to do it. I often think of suicide. Do you want to split the guacamole? I'm gonna die alone. I scare off every guy that comes my way. Always have a stupid thing to say. Like, is that really your hair? Or a toupee? I'm gonna die alone. Alone, alone, alone. I'd rather fake a coma than converse. Cause everything I say comes out reverse. I might as well be living in a hearse. Cause I'm gonna die alone. Hey, Jessica, how's work without me?
Pretty good. The customers are actually getting what they want now.
Wow, that's a little harsh.
But true. Bye, Anna.
I'm the pariah. A few times you're a bitch, then one by one they ditch you. And then there's pancakes with my Captain Crunch, and then again with lunch. I think I've got a hunch.
You're gonna die alone.
I was just about to say that.
Talking to yourself 3 whiskeys in.
Waiting for a life that won't begin. Someone cue the sad-ass violin.
Hey, aren't you Kate's friend, Tina?
I'm Anna.
I met you at that party.
I don't go to parties.
I'm trying to hit on you.
Oh, okay. Hit away.
So, are you a dog or cat person?
Okay, I can do this. Small talk. Puppies, I love puppies. They're so cuddly and soft. Oh, which reminds me of this one time back in college playing softball. I was catcher and I loved to feel the glove around my hand. It was leather and it made me think of Silence of the Lambs. You know the way he used to skin it, then he'd wear it. Kind of scary, but I think I've seen that movie 40 times. Not because I like it. I don't like it. I just, how did I get to this from puppies? No, wait. I can do this. Happy thoughts. Unicorns, rainbows, smiling kids. Well, aren't kids the cutest, always laughing? I like laughing, but it's tough when they are criers and screamers like my baby cousin Carrie, like the movie Scary Bloody Scary Carrie, which reminds me of this video online comparing vampires from True Blood to the vampires from Buffy, which is dumb because I like witches better, Eastwick, not the Salem kind. I mean, the Salem trials were fucked. I mean, those little girls were shits. So yeah, kids are cute.
Hey, lady, you didn't pay for that.
That's it? You're leaving? You barely got to know me. Please sit. I'm sorry. I need someone to show me what to say. I ramble. I know it's unbecoming, but my thoughts are scrambled. This whole thing is mind-numbingly absurd. I'm doing worse with every word. No, wait, don't leave. I'm sick of failing.
Pretending you belong.
There must be something wrong with me. I keep on trying, but something's gotta give. Or what is there to live for? I need affection, or at least a connection. 'Cause what happens when I take a fall and no one cares to call? 'Cause no one cares at all. Then I'd really die alone, like my mother died alone. Doesn't every person want the same?
Someone to confide in free of shame.
Who likes to say I love you, then my name.
My name.
Tired of the chaos I create. I'm tired of regretting every day. I'm tired of the fear that my fate is sealed in stone. 'Cause I don't wanna die alone.
Ooh, ah.
Okay, so clearly that did not go well for Anna, and she ends up getting arrested at the end of this number for disorderly conduct and vandalism, and she is then bailed out of jail by her father, and they have a discussion because she is court-ordered to start seeing a therapist, and she's to move back in with him, and he wants her to get up back on her feet, and she has a hearing coming up where she has to show that she's stable, and he wants her to find another job, something that can help her actually pay her own bills. But she argues that her art is where she feels most comfortable. It's the one thing that she feels good at. And visually, if we were able to see Anna's art, she draws these women with faces missing most of their features. And throughout the show, it serves as a metaphor for Anna trying to figure herself out. And in this song, we hear her singing, trying to convince her dad why he should let her apply to art school.
I'm afraid of facing my reflection every morning. I'm afraid to face the shit I did the night before. I'm afraid of self-destructing without warning. Every day I face feels like a chore. But I can draw a face, a person on the street. A face that's incomplete until I learn to fill the features in. And when I draw a face, I feel I'm in control. And something in my soul awakes and firmly shakes the heart of me, the part of me that I've been scared to face. and so I draw a face.
You need to find a real job, make a real plan.
I'm no good at fitting in the dotted lines of anything. I can barely keep a job or keep myself from jail. You can say I might succeed at doing many things. Lately all I do is fail.
Anna.
But I can draw a face, dancing with my hand, a way of understanding things that always brings me peace of mind. And if I go to school, maybe I can learn to fill the features in as I begin to figure out just who it is that I am meant to be. Face the girl inside of me. I don't know why I can't talk to other people, can walk in one direction, but with my hand I can draw myself a fantasy, a way for me to see a world where I'm not out of place, where I draw myself a face, one that feels complete, one where all my features show, so people know the heart of me, the part of me that I've been scared to face is finally in place. A part I could embrace if I could draw a face.
So Anna meets a guy, Jesse, in the waiting room of her therapist's office. And Jesse is a nerd with a neon-colored fanny pack that carries his inhaler because he's asthmatic and prone to panic attacks, so he is quite the catch. And he's been bantering and flirting with her, but she has never really had anyone pay attention to her in that way, so she's oblivious to it. But after a few weeks of them exchanging quips, Jesse feels like he's gotten enough signals to make a real move, and she's gonna make him work for it.
I want to take you out.
No, but you don't.
I think I can make my own decisions. Wanna go out with me on Monday?
No.
Maybe a beer while we both rant. We could hypothesize how one day robots could kill us all.
I can't.
Okay. Wanna go out with me on Tuesday? I know a bar with chess and cheese.
Cheese?
And every week it's country blues day, so we could square dance.
Not a chance.
Please.
I'm busy.
Fine. Wednesday, how about some sci-fi trivia karaoke?
I'd rather kill myself.
Okie dokie. Wednesday.
I'll be in bed by 7 o'clock. Don't ask, it's serious.
Not a big deal, I like mysterious. How about going out on Thursday? I know a French cafe nearby.
No, merci.
Make it a mesdames and messieurs day. We could give escargot a try.
Pass.
Wanna go out?
I'm not explore the town,
Wanna
girl.
go out?
I'm more the keep it down, girl.
Oh, come on, what does that even mean?
I'd rather stay in and read my Dickens, be someone else just for a while. Gasp at the plot each time it thickens. Maybe I'll even crack a smile. Go ahead and call me party pooper. Feel free to blame it on my pills, but I must say you're quite the trooper. By now the other guys would have fled for the hills. Someday maybe I could be Miss Piggy to a Kermit, but right now I'll stay a hermit. Someday
Who cares cares about Sunday? I'm asking for Thursday.
Yes, I get it.
Then why don't you let me?
Try and let it go.
No.
I'd rather stay in isolation where I don't worry what I say. So to avoid a cancellation, I'm gonna tell you no today. I'm not going out.
I'm not a give up easy
Not going
guy.
out.
I'll be your light and breezy guy. What about Indian food?
Too spicy.
Seeing an opera?
Way too pricey.
Maybe we ice skate.
Too icy.
Seriously?
I'm not into
A
cold.
trip to the sauna?
Ugh, too sweaty.
Eavesdrop on tours for fun?
Too petty.
Italian restaurant?
I don't like spaghetti.
Who doesn't like spaghetti?
Me.
Playing some mini golf?
Getting colder.
Museum of sex?
Okay, that's bolder.
Movies and popcorn?
My head on your shoulder. You're getting warmer.
I'm learning. Maybe it's better than on Friday. Hang in our PJs, watch TV. We'll dub it chocolate chips and pie day. Snuggling up, just you and me. What do you say?
I'm not a chocolate chips
What do
girl.
you say?
Not a relationships girl. I don't have a clue of what I'm doing, what I'm feeling. All this wooing has me reeling into cosmic heights of high anxiety. Grateful I reject sobriety.
Need a Xanax.
Need a Klonopin.
Need a Valium.
Need an Ativan.
What if we slow this down for a minute? We don't go out or in just yet. Stay in the waiting room to begin it. See how it goes from there, but I'll make a bet.
What?
Sooner than later I'll seduce you. Who could resist a guy like me? I know the way to Dr. Seuss you. Easy as one fish, two fish, three.
Cute.
Then we'll go out.
I'm not your dreams come true
Then we'll go
girl.
out.
I'm more the tame true girl. Okay, I'll take your bet.
So, next week, right here.
It's a date.
So Anna's mother passed away a couple years before the story starts, and Anna and her father, John, have never fully dealt with it or the way it happened. She took her own life. And it's been really hard for John to get back into the swing of things. He's only just starting to try dating, and it's not going well. But he meets someone who asks him about his wife, and he's caught off guard because he hasn't talked about her in so long. But then, for the first time in a long time, he opens up.
She was crazy, wonderful. She was dancing light in her own kaleidoscope where the world seemed right. She was crazy, wonderful. She was bittersweet, and the way she looked at you swept you off your feet, and she'd smile, that line between pleasure and danger. For a while, you almost forget that you live with a stranger, someone crazy, wonderful, who could make you cry when they leave so suddenly, and you don't know why. And it's not so wonderful to regret that I couldn't kiss that crazy, wonderful person. Goodbye.
So we fast forward a few months, and things have been going well with Anna's new therapist, Dr. Brenner, and she started some new meds, and she's been working on her application for art school. But the night before art school, Anna has a panic attack and ruins the art and ends up tanking the interview the next day. And completely distraught, she goes into Dr. Brenner's office and demands to know what is actually wrong with me. What have you been doing? And Dr. Brenner tells her that she has borderline personality disorder, which is not something that Anna was expecting. She doesn't know what that is. And she asks, well, what's the fix? How do you cure this? And Dr. Brenner says, there is no fix. It's treatment, but it takes time, and it's going to be something you have to live with for the rest of your life. And Anna feels completely lost with that answer, and her mind leaves the office, and this is her trying to process what that diagnosis means.
There's a girl I see in the mirror. I touch her face and my finger traces her eye. There's a line between me and her. Sometimes that line's a blur and I don't know who I am. I wish it was clear. Am I there? Am I here? One of us is sick and one is fine. But where's the line? Where's the line? Where's the line? Ah, do you hear me screaming? Ah, is it in your head? Why am I always feeling stuck between sick and fine, stuck on the borderline? Ah, do you think I'm crazy? Ah, is it in my head? Why do these pills all make me feel like I'm fine when I'm stuck on the borderline? Cold sweat, bad dream, back from Wonderland. Fall down, fall up, they don't understand. One cut, just one, just to let it out slowly. Helpless, stop, you can fight it, just try it, just try. Do you see me bleeding? Ah, is it in my head? Why do these pills all make me feel like I'm fine when I'm stuck on the borderline? Am I neurotic, psychotic, or am I in between? Am I depressed or suicidal, or am I in between? Am I insane or just dramatic, or am I in between? In between fake and real, in between think and feel, in between stop and go, yes and no, high and low. Do you think I'm crazy? Are you in my head? Why do these pills all make me feel like I'm fine when I'm trapped on the I will not be crazy. No, it's in your head. I don't need pills to make me feel like I'm fine. Free from the borderline. Free from the borderline.
So that was the Act 1 finale, and after that moment, Anna, by sheer will, she's decided she's going to choose to be the girl who's fine and not the girl who's sick. So she goes off her meds, she stops showing up for her therapy sessions with Dr. Brenner, and Jesse notices that she hasn't been around and he's worried about her. So he goes to her place to check in, and he finds her in a dark dark place, and he offers his help and support. It says he's been in tough situations too, and she's having a hard time being receptive. And this is Jesse's attempt to help and offer his friendship and maybe more.
You get me like nobody gets me. You see where it hurts. And I get you're afraid if you let me inside. I might see what you're trying to hide, but hiding won't make the demons disappear. Don't fight them alone. I'm standing right here to tell you I get you. I've weathered a storm or two. Give me your hand and I'll weather some more with you. After Saturday blues, you're the one that I choose to be the cherry on top of my sundaes. Be my shoulder to cry on, and I'll be the one you rely on. I'll be the cherry on top of your Sundays, on top of your Sundays.
I'm not that girl. I'm a mess. You don't get it.
I do get it.
You don't. There's a reason people like me do this alone. It eventually just gets too hard to keep watching people walk away.
I'm not going anywhere. My arm may not match your arm, scar for scar, but the battles and bruises we've suffered in here, that's what shows us who we really are. Look, I know you might find me ridiculous. I'm not trying to come save the damsel here, but I stare at your paintings and something feels right. I wanna be one of your canvases, want you to lovingly trace the lines of my face, giving me comfort, giving me grace.
You should go.
I'm not giving up.
Why not? I have.
After Saturday blues, you're the one that I choose.
Anna asks Jesse to leave, and she isolates herself in her bedroom to work on her art obsessively. And she begins to dissociate, partly as a withdrawal effect from stopping her meds, and she loses track of time, loses track of what day of the week it is, and the regular-sized bedroom where she is working starts to become this large cathedral-like space as she risks losing herself.
There's a girl who lives alone in the shadows of her mind. Next to dreams she's thrown away, next to doubts she's left behind. And she hums a little song, just a whisper of a sound, in the land of lost and found. She was scared to be herself, she was scared of what she'd see. So she's hiding in the dark and she's thrown away the key. If you travel there, beware, there's no way to turn around in the land of lost and found. She's been waiting for a while for a person to appear. She's been lonely in the dark where each minute lasts a year. While she waits, she hums her song, just a whisper of a sound, in the land of lost and found. In her loneliness, she cries, and her tears are red as blood as they stream across her face and then sink into the mud. Soon she stands inside a pool and can barely feel the ground. She'll be lost if she's not found. And the pool of red begins to spread. The tide is turning and the waves are churning as the melody she hums rapidly becomes a symphony of sorrow, crashing as it surges, reaching a crescendo. Where's the savior? She awaits. Better hurry if you're him, 'cause the ocean's on the rise and she never learned to swim. You must try to grab her hand, save her life before she's drowned. As she sinks beneath the waves to be buried down below, someone reaches out a hand. Should she grab it or let go? Could there really be a light in the darkness that surrounds? Will the girl be lost or found?
Okay, next toast. To causing a commotion, to passion when it's new, to anything taboo. This is Kiss My Aztec. All right, so Kiss My Aztec is a show I started working on in 2014. It is the brainchild of John Leguizamo, who it's been an honor to write with over the last 7 years. And I'm excited that we're finally getting to bring it to the East Coast next year, so that's exciting. I've been writing that with John, with David Camp, and with our director, Tony Tacconi, and we did it out in Berkeley Rep and La Jolla Playhouse pre-pandemic. So lots of new changes since then, but I'm excited for what's to come. So Kiss My Aztec is a farce about a group of rebel Aztecs fighting back against the Spanish conquistadores, and it is utterly ridiculous and silly, which you'll see from this song. And the original reason why I was doing Toast was so that I could get a little tipsy by the time I needed to do this song, because I'm performing it and it's a little silly. But I should have waited to do it at the end, but I needed an up-tempo here, so here we are. Okay, so I will be playing Pepe, who is an Aztec clown, and he is an outcast among this tribe of warriors, and he doesn't want to fight, he just wants to play around. And in this scene, Colombina, who is the fiercest Aztec warrior, is leading the Aztecs in getting the weapons ready for a siege on the Spanish citadel they're preparing, and Pepe is clowning around. And that's all you need to know.
Faster, people! Sharpen them blades! Sucketh on them blowguns! Squeeze the poison frog juice! The blood moon is coming! We gotta be on our A-game!
Ow, 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 mother-loving son of a...
Oh, please, what the ever-loving fuck now?
Work don't like his dust.
Steppeth in line, Pepe. You're messing with the workflow.
I am working on a new routine.
Please, no.
You some kind of herb?
If by herb you mean if I enhance everything I touch with my mad flavor, then sure.
Are you some kind of sort of pussy?
If you mean it's clever like a cat, then meow.
Damn, just shut up. Why you gotta be such a punk-ass geek?
You're calling me a herb and a punk-ass geek-a, acting like your burn is so unique-a. Maybe I don't jive with the tribe Mexica, but I got the spunk of a punk-ass geek-a. You saying I'm a hack? Well, it hurts to hear it. You ought to see my act, but you won't go near it. I may be kinda whack, but I got the spirit. Time to feel the funk of a punk-ass geek-a. Now, get this. My poppy named me Pepe, P-E-P-E. but I never was athletic. I like puppetry, too unmanly, he said. Then next thing, he was dead. My poor mommy and pops picked off by the pops. You calling me a bitch? Well, fine, I own it. Bitches get it done and they don't postpone it. Bitches need to mate and I'm a dog, doggone it. So Ruth, quit your bitching about this punk ass Geek-A. Squality-doo-ba-doo. Cállate, Pepe. Squality-doo-da-doo. Cállate, Pepe. Toma, go ahead, I see. Cállate. Who the funk? I'm a punk ass Geek-A.
Pepe, tell Machu and Pichu to get the fuck out. Now organize these weapons.
You ask me why I'm into japing and joking, spear me or sneering and Pepe provoking. Your club won't accept me the way that I am, sort of a punk ass and sort of a man.
Let's do this, people.
You ask me why I'm into japing and joking, spear me or sneering and all you're provoking. Your club won't accept me the way that I am, sort of a punk ass and sort of a man.
Triple time me, gente.
You ask me why I'm into japing and joking, spear me or sneering and all you're provoking. Your club won't accept me the way that I am, sort of a punk ass, sort of a man. Pepe the puppeteer, Pepe the pioneer, speak of his powers, passing his hours, raining rhyme showers.
Pepe, this is an assembly line, not a chorus line.
Colombina, what did thou think of my routine?
You don't want to hear what I gotta say.
Thou couldst not offend me if you tried.
Okay. Who cares about a stupid fucking musical routine when there are people being oppressed everywhere in the real world?
I standeth corrected. I wanna give my heart to Colombina, find what's underneath that harsh demeanor, see her in a light that no one's seen her. I wanna be the guy for Colombina. So what if I'm a lamb and not a lion? So what if what I'm selling she ain't buying? I swear to every god, Aztec and Mayan, I'm gonna be the Chico who gets that chica.
Just a geek.
Ha, Pepe the Geek-A.
Pepe the freaka.
Call me what you want, but damn, I'm unique. A world-class punk ass Geek-A. A funky punk ass Geek-A. All right, so that's all you get from Kiss My Ass Deck. Moving on. Here's a new toast. Sorry, I got to change my headgear now. Okay, to days of inspiration, making something out of nothing. This is Afterland. So I did my undergrad at Columbia University, where I wrote this thing called the Varsity Show. And for those of you that don't know, it's a tradition where every year a group of students spend the year writing an original musical about life at Columbia. And that experience was the best experience I'd ever had in my life. And I decided then that I had to write musicals for the rest of my life. And it's also where I met my best friend and frequent collaborator, Katie Hathaway. And she's not here, but I'm sure she'd appreciate that. And Katie and I then went on to do the BMI workshop together, where we started writing Afterland. And Afterland takes place 15 years after Philadelphia has been destroyed, and it follows a group of survivors who are living in the woods, and they've started a new community and a new family, trying to forget the past and start fresh. And a lot of what the show deals with is when you feel really lost in the world, that it's about the people you surround yourself with, that wherever they are, if you're there, that feels like home. And that's a lot of what the show's about. And in this moment, we're following a couple who they grew up in the world before the end as they knew it happened, and they had all these hopes and dreams of what they wanted for their lives that had defined who they were, they thought. And then everything changed, and they found each other now in the woods afterwards. And this song is about how even though those things before the end can't happen, they have each other now, and that's enough.
I never knew whose life I was in. Never knew if time was real or just pretend. I never found the secret, I never had a plan. Time was running out for me before it began. Before the end, I thought I'd dig a hole to China. Before the end, I thought I'd sail to Timbuktu. Before the end, I wanted everything and nothing less would do. But it's the end now, and I'd rather be with you. My life never played out on silver screens. Never knew just what it meant or what meaning means. I thought I needed adventure to get my life on track. But you're my big adventure, babe, and I'm never looking back. Before the end, I thought I'd hug the Dalai Lama. Before the end, I thought I'd ride a kangaroo. Before the end, I thought I'd climb the greatest mountain in Peru. But it's the end now, and I'd rather climb on you. I might never have another scoop of ice cream. I might never get some fancy pants degree. But it's scarier by far to be away from where you are. And if that's here forever, there's no place else I'd rather be. Before the end, I wanna kiss you every second. Before the end, I wanna stick to you like glue. Before the end, I wanna be there and see everything you do. And when the end comes, well, at least I'll be with you. My love and laughter, you. My ever after, you. My big disaster, you. 'Cause at the end, babe, well, at least I'll be with you.
Okay, next toast. To apathy, to entropy, to empathy, to ecstasy. Lucky Bohan! It's working so well. This is Einstein. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I am married to a French mathematician, and he is currently in Germany doing research, and we've been long distance for the last 3+ years, and this song deals with that. But let me clarify that this song is not about our relationship because it's about to get dark. And our relationship's great. But it all started when I first met him and we were talking about, he does theoretical geometry, and we were talking about how theoretical mathematics is a little bit like writing, because in both cases you're trying to find beautiful ways to express universal truths. And that sent me down a rabbit hole of reading about Albert Einstein, and I quickly became the most fascinated in the time before he was Einstein and when he was just Albert, this struggling mathematician who had to work day jobs to be able to afford to even marry the woman he loved and buy a house. And he fell in love with Mileva Maric, this mathematician who was also brilliant that he went to school with, but she had to drop out of school because she got pregnant and they weren't married, so she had to go have the baby in hiding, and for several years they were living apart while he was trying to make enough money so that they could come back together. And the whole theory of relativity inspired me this idea. So the theory of relativity is about two bodies moving at different speeds experience time differently. And it made me think about when you're long distance and you're both experiencing life differently, time passes differently. And for Mileva, she is very methodical, thinks through everything, and for her it felt like a decade apart. And for Albert, he's always flitting from one thing to the next. He always maintained this childlike wonderment, which was an asset to his mathematics, but it meant when they came back together as a couple, she was in a much different place maturity-wise than he was. And their marriage ended up not working out. And so this song is once they've actually finally moved back in together, and Mileva is singing about how she wished that they were in sync.
You racing toward the sun, always on the run at the speed of light. Me trudging through the snow, wanting you to know something isn't right. We promised to meet at a moment in time when we're sharing a home, when the wedding bells chime, but my clock says the moment has passed, and I'm still waiting. You working till the dawn, dinner's come and gone, you can barely tell. Me putting Hans to bed, stuck inside my head, living in a hell. We promised to meet at a moment in time when the problems were solved, no more mountains to climb, but my clock says the moment has passed, and I'm still waiting. Where are you now? When are you now? Please tell me, how do I know if I should hold on or let go? I pretended to be strong, but years felt twice as long without you there to hold. You barely blinked an eye, head up in the sky, never growing old. We promised to meet at a moment in time, with our best still ahead, living dreams in our prime, but my clock says the moment has passed. Maybe mine was just moving too fast. If there's hope that our moment can last, then I'm still waiting.
Okay, our last toast of the night. To starving for attention, hating convention, hating pretension, not to mention, of course, hating dear old mom and dad. Love you forever. This is Boomerangs, formerly Star Blasters. I'll explain in a second. I don't even know why I'm explaining this, but some people who were part of a workshop I did of Star Blasters asked, why did you change the name? And Star Blasters just feels very spacey, and the show's not really about that anymore. So that's why I'll explain what it is. Okay, I'm rambling now. So, Boomerangs is about, it's also written with Katie Hathaway, and it is about the conflict between generations, specifically my generation and my parents' generation, and the expectations of success and happiness that each generation has for each other, and where the reality of that lies. And I'll get more into it because we're going to do a few songs from this show. But our first song follows. So we're taking place at a rundown theme park in the Jersey Shore, and 5 friends about to turn 30 have been working at the same park since they were in high school. And one of those friends, Erica, it's her family's park, but she, after working there in high school, moved away. She was the one that moved away because her Catholic dad didn't accept her as gay, and she chose to start a new life somewhere else. But her dad recently passed, and she's come back into town to deal with that and deal with maybe selling the park. And she's having to confront things from the past that she hasn't dealt with in a long time, one of being Freddie, her high school best friend. And the two have not spoken since senior prom, and we're about to find out what's all the bad blood about. And they're gonna each tell us their side of the story.
Freddie and I met in junior high. I don't know why, but she wanted to sit next to me in biology, dissecting pigs. She made a few digs about all of my pens being pink, no purple, I think. Whatever, the ink was so girly, she dared me to drink it.
To prove she was tough.
Yeah, I drank it and threw up all over the class. That's how I met Freddie.
So that's it?
No. Now skipping to high school, the two of us made up a duo of misfits hated by teachers.
We'd sit on the bleachers and make up our own double features
of hip-hop
and jazz.
What about prom?
We both made a pact that come senior spring, if we were both single, we'd know who to bring. We'd wear matching pants and slick back our hair. We'd tear up the dance floor and not even care that we didn't have dates there, cause together we're 7 or 8 there. But instead I was standing disgraced there, cause she never showed her face there. No, she never showed her face. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise, and she broke it. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise, and she broke it. I'll admit I'm a screw up, it's true up till now that I just didn't give a damn. With my dad never home, I'd be stuck alone with my own issues to hash out, so I'd lash out at school. But with Erica, I never needed to pretend. I made a best friend, and yes, I was desperately smitten. Don't believe me? Here, look at the poems I've written.
Are you listening?
Yes.
Now skipping to high school when Freddie'd already come out, and rumors were flying about whether I, as her bestie, was actually straight. So how could I go to the prom as her date?
We both made a pact.
Yes, but I wasn't sure how Poppy'd react. If I went with her, he'd think I was gay. He might kick me out. I didn't know what I should do, so I broke up our pact to be dates there. Cause I knew all the shit that awaits there, all the dumb homophobic cliches there. So how no was I showing my face there? How no was I showing my face? Prom's not a promise. Prom's not a promise. Prom's not a promise. So you can't break it. Prom's not a promise. Prom's not a promise. Prom's not a promise. So you can't break. Ring, ring.
Voicemail.
Hey, it's me. Hey, Freddie. Just call me when you're ready. I know what I did was shitty, but just give a girl some pity, cause there's something I need to tell you.
I don't wanna hear it.
Ring, ring.
Voicemail.
Hey, did you get my message? I left another message. Persistence doesn't bore me, but fine, go ahead, ignore me. You're a motherfucking asshole.
I'm the asshole, you're the asshole.
Ring,
hang up.
Ring.
This inbox is full.
Ring, hey, it's me, hey, Freddie. Just call me when you're ready. I know what I did was shitty, but just give a girl some pity. Hey, did you get my message? I left another message. Persistence doesn't bore me, but fine, go ahead, ignore me.
How could you be so ridiculously unaware not to see how you villainize me? Selfishly stubborn, should I take the punishment? No. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise, and you broke it. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise. Prom was a promise, and you broke.
She never called back, so I stopped leaving messages.
I never answered her, no more new messages.
4 days before graduation.
3 days before graduation.
2 days before graduation.
1 day before
all
our frustration would come to a head.
Cause I'm Erica Perez.
I'm Freddie Powers. We'd be stuck in line with each other for hours.
I'd rather be dead.
I played hooky instead.
Then I sped off to college.
We haven't talked since.
And I know she's convinced I'm the jerk.
She's the jerk.
Yeah, go ahead, judging and holding your grudge.
No, it's stubborn and petty,
but how can I budge
when I know I've been right
You've been wrong
all along? So you see, what my qualm is the promise is serious,
meaningless,
spiritual.
Then you broke it.
So Nacho is Erica's brother, and he is the one who's the most obsessed with the park and wants to keep it open. It's the thing that he loves. And he also has been living with Crohn's disease for the last several years, and he's had a few scares, and in this moment, he just collapsed and had to go to the hospital. And so his sister, Erica, is visiting him in the hospital. And they are talking about mortality. He's definitely a little stoned. I should mention he's a stoner. And they're talking about how their dad passed and now they're orphans because their mom died when they were kids. And they start talking about when was the first time you realized what death meant. And Erica says, well, for me it was watching Titanic when I saw Leonardo DiCaprio sink into the icy depths and I cried for weeks and weeks. And for Nacho, he says that it was when he first watched Star Wars. And the song is about him talking about his experience with death through Star Wars. And I just want to say that I had a friend who I used to work with at Sony Music who had Crohn's and passed away in the last few years. And I want to dedicate this song to her and also all the people that we've lost during COVID, because it's been a tough period.
To sunsetting with Luke and I'm betting we're gonna live forever. Jedi Knights with our Jedi lightsabers, we're gonna live forever. The galaxy's our oyster, let's get light speed into gear. Where could we go from here? Just turned 7 in Star Wars heaven, 'cause I got my VHS tapes. I wake up each day, hit rewind and play on my kick-ass VHS tapes. 'Cause when you're watching Star Wars, it makes bullshit disappear. Where could I go from here? But when I saw Return of the Jedi and watch Yoda die, say goodbye, it hit me. If someone as strong and wise as Yoda dies, then we all won't live forever. Then I won't live forever. All I had was a single dad and a mom who lived in pictures. They said she died, but I never cried, 'cause to me, she lived in pictures. But that day, watching Star Wars, all my doubts turned into tears. Where did she go from here? Where do we go from here? Does heaven or hell await? Do we go to a better place, or do we reprocreate it into a better face? I just want to know where we go, if we go. But if there isn't a where, why should I care about living? The doctors say take my meds each day and there's a chance I might feel better. So I smoke some pot, knowing all I've got is a chance that I'll feel better. I wanna be like Yoda, fight the dark side, have no fear. But where will I go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where To sunsetting with Luke and I'm betting we're gonna live forever.
So, Nacho is joined again by Freddie. They are working the concession stand, and if you recall, Freddie was just singing about how she was pissed that Erica stood her up at prom. But the truth is that Freddie has been madly in love with Erica since high school, and when they were all working at the theme park back then, Freddie worked concessions right across from a ride where Erica would save the audience every hour. It was one of those interactive rides, and it was an alien invasion, and Erica would save them, and that was the highlight of Freddie's day. But it's been 12 years since then, and she's never told Erica how she feels, and the park may be closing, and Nacho was like, this could be your last chance to tell her. Do you really want to live the rest of your life not knowing? And Freddie says, well, I try, but every time I'm around her, I embarrass myself, I say something gross, I say something awkward, and Nacho's like, well, why don't you try practicing with me? Pretend I'm Erica, and try telling me how you feel, using the things at the concession stand.
I'm Erica.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cotton candy is sweet, and they say it's a treat, but it's not sweet at all next to you.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
And pretzels are hot, people like them a lot, but they're not hot at all next to you.
Yeah, she is hot.
I stand here day after day, watching you from afar.
Wait, that's kind of creepy.
I know that's creepy, okay, but no one can blame me. She's bright as a star. When she holds the mic and she stares at the crowd, she tells them, I'll save you. She tells them real loud, the voice of a hero, the people all cheer. Hey, Erica, save me. I'm next to the peanuts and popcorn. I'm right over here.
Okay, all right, let me try. Cherry ices are icy, and nachos are spicy, but nothing tastes better than you.
I wouldn't say that.
The lemonade splashes and wets my eyelashes, but nothing makes me wetter than you.
There are children around.
I dream of us making out by the bumper cars on the hill.
That's more like it. We'll ride the coasters, both shouting, and I'll be her Jack, and she'll be my Jill.
Wait, weren't they brother and sister?
Shut up when she holds the mic and she stares at the crowd.
She tells them, I'll save you.
She tells them real loud, the voice of a hero, the people all cheer. Hey, Erica, save me. I'm next to the weird-smelling hot dogs.
No.
I'm right over here, and I'm finished concealing.
She's finished concealing.
It's time for revealing.
It's time for revealing.
The girl who's from the concession stand tells the girl her confession, and she holds the mic and she'll call out my name. From that moment on, nothing else is the same. I'll give her large popcorn and ice cream for free. Hey, Erica, Erica, boy, am I glad you picked me. But after the show ends, she passes my stall. I try hard to shout, but I can't after all. Though I take out my hand with an elephant ear. Hey, Erica, save me. I'm next to the cookies and Twizzlers and Twixes. I'm right by the bathroom that nobody fixes. I'm under the sign that says $3 beer. Hey, Erica, save me. I'm right over here.
We made it, the last song of the night. We're early. Look at that. Okay, so Jon-Michael is going to play the same character you just saw, Nacho. But we are at a point in the show where Nacho has found out that his plan to save the park has failed, and the park will be closing. And all his friends have just abandoned him because they realized that his grand plan was not really a plan at all, and he feels betrayed, not just by them, but by the system that told him that if he worked hard enough, he could make it happen. And he's really wallowing right now in that place of just anger and frustration. And in the show, we have a boomer chorus of boomers that's like a Greek chorus. And it's all the parents of the five main characters. And they come around him, they start kind of taunting him, being like, you should have worked harder, you should have gotten a practical degree, you should have done this. And at a certain point, to blow off some steam, he tries to shoot some baskets into one of the arcade basketball game things, hoops games, or whatever they're called. He misses, he shoots again, he misses. And at some point, he tries to dunk the little ball into the basket only to see that it pops out. And he realizes that the ball is bigger than the hoop, and the whole game is rigged. And he lets out a howl of frustration.
Shoot, miss, shoot, miss, shoot, shoot, miss, miss, shoot.
You can play the game and try to make a basket. You can shoot and miss all day.
Shoot, miss.
But something isn't right, and it'll keep you up at night. The game is rigged no matter how you play. The ball's too big and the rim's too small. There was never any chance at all. They rigged the game.
Shoot, miss, shoot, miss, shoot, miss.
Born into a town where you don't matter. If they tell you that you're special, it's a lie.
Big fat lie.
You save up all you can, but you will never beat the man. He'll keep you stuck here till the day you die. The ball's too big and the rim's too small. You had not a chance in hell at all, so take your aim.
But if you miss your shot, you're not to blame.
'Cause they rigged the game. Damn! You! Mom and Dad! You raised me believing in chances that I never had. Damn you! Mom and Dad! You raised me believing in chances that I never had. Why did you tell me I was cuter, smarter, better? Why give me medals, trophies, fake certificates, telling me I'm so terrific? It's all a lie. Why? So you wanna find a job that doesn't kill you? Earn enough to buy a car and pay your bills.
Your big fat bills.
But good jobs aren't free.
No, sir.
You gotta splurge on a degree, then pay your loans before the interest kills you. The debt's too high and the pay's too low. You'll be dead and gone before you know. So take your aim. But if you lose your job, you're not to blame. Because they rigged the game. So you wanna be a grown-up like your parents? They were married and had kids by 24. You've fallen far behind, and pretty soon you're gonna find a life with mom and dad is what's in store. The life you want, you can't afford. That ship has sailed, you're not on board.
You save and save, but the world don't care, 'cause you live in goddamn who knows where.
Well, the ball's too big and the rim's too small, and you never had a chance at all. So take your aim. But if you lose your job, you're not to blame. Because they rigged the game. Rigged the cause they rigged the game. Rigged the game.
Woo! We did it. I made it through. Okay. I'm gonna... Okay. And without much further ado, let's play out.